Welcome to the next installment of Educational Technology for Instructional Design, a weekly podcast supporting entry-level instructional designers, teachers, and instructors. Today's topic is compatibility with existing systems. Compatibility is important because when computers and systems are compatible with one another, you save time, money, and effort. Compatibility also prevents frustration. Think of traveling to a foreign country and needing a plug adapter to charge your phone. Your phone isn't compatible with the other country's power grid. If it was, you wouldn't need the plug adapter. Today, I really want to focus on compatibility between computers. I'd like to showcase a particular case study from my personal experiences in Arizona in 2016. I had the pleasure of teaching in a technology-rich school district, the Vail Unified School District in Vail, Arizona, for a year. They started transitioning to be a one-to-one device district back in 1999 and have since made the cover of the New York Times 3 times for the technical innovations in education they've implemented. Now, going back to 1999, Vail knew that this change was going to affect the entire district, so all the department heads and central administration got together and discussed how the changes would affect them, whether they wanted the change, and how the change would happen. Ultimately, they decided that this change was not only necessary, but that it was wanted so the district could better serve their students. In other words, Vail wanted their students to graduate with a rich set of technical skills to better serve them in the 21st century. Remember, this transition started at the very end of the 20th century. Most of the country was panicked about the Y2K bug that never happened. Do you remember that? Nobody was sure what computers would do if they only had 2 digits for the year, and experts were afraid of the chaos that could ensue if a big bang's computers rolled from 1999 to 1900. Would nuclear weapon systems deploy by themselves? Nobody knew. There was ridiculous speculation and reasonable speculation. Tens of thousands of computer programmers, which is what they were called back then, not coders, but programmers, and computer engineers were deployed in every industry to quote-unquote fix the computer code from a 2-digit year to a 4-digit year. That compatibility was a huge issue back then. And in a tiny census-designated place in the Sonoran Desert, a brave group of innovators decided to make their district a one-to-one device district, meaning that every student, teacher, and administrator would have their own computer for schoolwork. It took about a decade, start to finish, and Vail developed their several related projects, like Beyond Textbooks and an expansion of their assistive technology options for disabled students to allow them greater access to the school environment and curriculum. Eventually, Beyond Textbooks helped replace hard copy textbooks with digital versions, saving the school district tens of thousands of dollars on buying new textbooks every few years. Licensing digital copies was actually cheaper. The administrators in Vail chose Apple products for compatibility reasons. Why? Because Apple products work well together and always have. Additionally, Apple has a long history of working with school districts, giving districts discounts not available to the public, keeping costs slightly lower. Today, I can push a TV show from my phone, which, let's face it, is essentially a powerful microcomputer, to TV, and use my phone as a remote control. I can airdrop files to coworkers. My calendar automatically syncs between my phone and computer, meaning that if I'm using Apple products, I have access to the same information between devices, thanks to the Apple iCloud, an off-site storage program. As a teacher in Vail, I was able to download a calendar directly from Beyond Textbooks, a curriculum management system developed in-house by Vail and adopted by several hundred rural school districts around the United States. I could check on next week or next month's lessons on my phone while I was shopping at the grocery store if I wanted to. My principal could push a staff agenda to an Apple TV in a conference room, saving ink and paper, thereby stretching the school's administrative budget just a little further. BT, or Beyond Textbooks as it's known in Vail, has won the National Sylvia Sharp Award and the Magna Award. The Beyond Textbooks team works with the curriculum department to develop things like, quote, unwrapped standards, unquote, or a document that picks apart Common Core standards to identify the core of the standard, as well as how to measure student achievement. If you're curious to see what this looks like, you can visit beyondtextbooks.org and click on Research Evidence and then MOWR Compliance to see what these unwrapped documents look like. I found them incredibly helpful as an inclusion specialist so that I could focus on the most essential skills for my students with rare disabilities that affected their ability to access lessons in the general education setting. Some of my students used iPads as assistive technology. I could sign onto the student's iCloud account and push new software or additional parental controls to the iPad, then sign out again so the student couldn't make changes of their own. Occasionally, this process didn't work as smoothly as it was supposed to, but I really didn't have any major problems with the process. It worked well and it was effective for both students and teachers. If you visit the school district website, you'll notice that there is very little information on their digital success. Only one web page is dedicated to it. Instead, Vail's focus is on teaching methods and proven strategies for high performance, like small class sizes, traditional values, and fiscal responsibility. This is a solid method for using educational technology because using computers without evidence-based strategies is like throwing together a mishmash of components and hoping for the best. Vail took their time and developed a program that not only works well for them, but is also cost-effective and helps students and teachers reach a higher level of performance. That's it for us today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you here again next week for another installment of Educational Technology for Instructional Design.